Welcome everyone, Liam here. I want to thank you for stopping in today. So please take a seat, let me offer you a drink, and lounge around with me while we watch today's video. Pokémon is a huge franchise with a lot of different things for players to do, from your average players completing the main story and post-story, defeating the 8 gyms and becoming champion, to maxing out your hours in shiny hunting and breeding the perfect Pokémon. Personally, I fall somewhere in the middle. I usually beat the main and post game, then promptly get to shiny hunting. However, there is more to the game I've come to realize I know nothing about, and that is the competitive play. As a shiny hunter, this is usually the furthest thing from my mind when playing Pokemon. However, the recent Galarian Bird event got me to try my hand at battling competitively. The event only required that I battle 3 times in the competition to get my shiny Articuno. Winning and losing didn't matter. You get your bird either way. However, in these battles, I got annihilated. I don't think I won a single battle. Now, I was using my playthrough team, that I had shiny hunted using the student method. Before I began the event, I looked up some basic info as to what was the best moveset for each one and just copy pasted it, thinking that should be enough. Boy, was I wrong. Here's a compilation of how those battles went. While this team has decent type coverage, I didn't have much to deal with really anything once Cinderace or Dracovish went down. I tried to use Cinderace's ability Libero to middling effects. While it does give me stab bonus, it seems the move I have on mine are just not very strong. That paired with the fact that a lot of powerful Pokemon outspeed my glass cannon of a Cinderace often led to her going down in one turn, leaving Dracovish open without any other true threats on the field. It was right about here I realized the implications of Dracovish's ability Sand Rush. Seeing as the Pokemon in the main story don't usually have anywhere near perfect stats, it was rare he got outsped. However, in competitive, I kinda neglected to realize that everybody probably has near perfect IVs and EVs on their Pokemon, making them much more powerful than the NPC teams were. Corviknight was an interesting case. I don't think it really got a chance to shine, since it often was left behind due to not being needed for coverage. However, as a tankier build, I do think he has some promise. Under the right circumstances, of course. Specifically here when I was fighting Blaziken. Toxtricity seemed like it would be a good answer to Kyogre, but was often outsped and OHKO'd. I did, however, like using Mimikyu, since often against faster teams, he could cripple them with Trick Room. He also had decent coverage moves to help deal with some things Dracovish may have had more trouble with. All this paired with his disguise ability often led to him lasting far longer than he should have, and dealing with more damage than you would have thought after watching the others go down. After my battles, I had to keep going and prove to myself that my team was good. I mean, after all, I became the champion of Galar with it. It had to be a fluke that I lost every single battle. I pushed forward, doing around 20 battles in total, only winning a few. Then it hit me. I know nothing about competitive Pokemon, and there are still 2 birds left to get in the next 2 months. If I didn't want to endure losing again and again, I had to pick up the slack for my team. I immediately went to look at what made me lose all these battles, and decided my team needed a serious rework. I knew I wanted to use Dracovish as my main hitter, since Fish's Friend seemed like it was really good during my playthrough. I decided to pair him with Nincada, since it is super fast and learns a lot of support moves including Sandstorm, giving my Dracovish a slight speed boost due to his ability Sandrush. I really like Mimikyu, and as another helper for my team, since if Nincada went down, he could use Trick Room to try and make Dracovish fast. I also really enjoyed using Noivern, since he had Infiltrator and can get through some of the harder Pokemon. I also decided to throw Dragapult, Grimmsnarl, Corviknight, and Cinderace in the options, since I might need some extra type coverages. Now, this is all following the current format for these events, which is 4 Pokemon set to level 50. None can have the same items. However, I kinda sorta gave myself a handicap. It's not that I needed the handicap necessarily, but it's more of a personal ideal I have when it comes to Pokemon. I don't like using legendaries on my teams. I've always disliked using legendary Pokemon. They are so much more powerful than your average Pikachu or Cinderace. I mean, this is kind of what makes them legendary. I wanted to see if I could learn to be competitive as if I was actually in the Pokemon world with the restrictions that they would have. Your normal kid is not going to have Rayquaza. It doesn't really seem fair for one person to have a demigod while one has a slightly fat rat. While I obviously couldn't expect my opponents to follow the same rules I had set for myself, it should still make for an interesting time. I only had 8 days until the next battle began, and my goal is to win 3 in under 10 battles. I know, kinda lofty goals seeing as my track record isn't too great. However, I think I can do it. Please stay tuned for part 2, where I train to take on the second attempt at competitive Pokemon as just an average gamer. If you enjoyed today's video, please like and subscribe. I am starting this channel as a side gig and just to have fun with the games that I love. I stream as often as I can, usually on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and sometimes on Sundays, here on YouTube. So please stop on by if you want to hang out and lounge around with me again. This has been Liam's Lounge, and sorry to say, you don't have to stop watching my videos, but you can't continue watching this one.